It was a mad fight. I mean, I say it was mad. At the same time, it was sort of expected. Let's not play. I think most people would have thought Fury was gonna take this one, you know. And that's what happened. When I looked at this, I was like, Fury's gonna win this. He's gonna become world champion. But it was the fact that all three judges were American. I was like, if this goes to the cards for some reason, I think there's a chance he could be screwed over. But you know, Fury got a TKO against Wilder. It wasn't the way I'm sure Fury wanted it to be. I stayed up to watch the fight. Wilder's camp threw in the towel. From Wilder's reaction, it seemed like he really didn't want that. And from the way he was fighting in that moment, I think that there are a lot of problems with this fight in terms of Wilder's corner and that side and that aspect of the fight. But just to start off with, Fury was going to win this fight 100%. You know, he's been the best heavyweight in boxing for the last, I don't know, 6-7 years. Even when he was out of the fighting game, he was still the best boxer in the heavyweight division. He's just got this charismatic nature to him that other people don't have. Wilder does have a bit of it. Ruiz has it a bit. Joshua has a different type of it, but he's just a showman. He has all of that. And if you watched his ring walk or ring carry parade, the guy is so extra. I love him. Do what you want, but when we get down to the actual fight, Wilder was absolutely dominated. He was absolutely destroyed from, you know, the first round bell. It was a demolishing. It was a mauling. And I actually felt bad for Wilder at one stage. And I thought to myself, I sort of don't want to watch this anymore. Like, he was getting so battered and there was really not a lot of response come round 2 or 3 that a little part of me wanted Wilder to have a bit of a comeback. Honestly, that was the way I was looking at it. I was saying, maybe he can have a comeback, because this is just too one-sided, man. World heavyweight title fight. After watching the last fight, you know, it wasn't even because Fury won 10 of the rounds, but Wilder just came out of nowhere and delivered a 1-2, and that was it. That was almost a loss for Tyson Fury because of the judges specifically. But I don't think anyone expected the manhandling that was handed to Deontay Wilder here. I mean, they both came in like 15, 20 pounds heavier than the last fight. Deontay's heaviest weight, and Fury was like 270 plus. So they both had an idea of what they wanted to do. But I think at the end of the day, Fury just exposed Wilder for what he is, which is just having no technique at all. And just being reliant on that one aspect, which is power. Like, there are a lot of aspects to boxing, right? There's movement, there's skill, there's power, there's precision. There's a lot of different aspects to it. And I feel Deontay Wilder really only has one, which is the power, which he certainly has. But when you look at Fury, I mean, he has basically all the attributes to be able to be one of the best heavyweights ever. It's just true. His movement is absolutely incredible. It's bonkers that a man that big can be that lithe and move that well. As well as, you know, his skill level, his boxing IQ is so high as well. And then when you look at his punching power, he just gained 20 pounds and he looks in better shape than he did, a lot better shape than he did over the last couple fights. So really, you can say what you want, but 270 pounds is 270 pounds at the end of the day. So his punching power has gone up inherently because he's got fitter and his weight has gone up as well, including that. So to say that Fury doesn't have any punching power is ludicrous when we're talking about a 270 plus pound man. I think people just forget that we're dealing in these numbers when most people are like not even 160, 170 pounds. But I do think Deontay Wilder's corner are a bit nuts, honestly. The fact that he wasn't getting any response from his corner. There was nothing there. Like, he came back to the corner and it's almost like dead silence. He's like, man, you're getting rocked here every single round. Every for, you know, I don't know, 30 seconds, you're getting a punch on you. And fair credit to him, like, he didn't go down and stay down. He went down, got up, went down, got up, went down, got up. And I think that one of the knockdowns which wasn't counted was actually a knockdown. I think Fury grazed him on his head, and then because he was off balance, he sort of went away. But when it comes to throwing in the towel, his team probably did the right thing, which is good. I guess they had some type of awareness of how the fight was going, but it seemed like they were just waiting for him to just unload a right hand and be like, the fight's over, and that's what they were just gaming for and going for. But he didn't want to stop the fight. He said that in the post-match interviews. I think personally, from where he was in that fight, I think there was 1:10 left of the round. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think they should have stopped the fight then. I know it's hard because it's about boxers' health and well-being and the future of these people as well. It's not just this fight, it's the next fight, it's the next fight, it's 10 years, 20 years from now. But just before the fight got called off because the towel got thrown in, Wilder did give a punch back, because I don't think the ref was willing to stop it at that moment, because Wilder was giving something back. It wasn't a lot, but, and he was rocked and he was shook. He was shooketh to the core, he was. But he was still, you know, forcing the fight a little bit. Just a bit, even though most of that was Fury. It was even just the way that his corner threw in the towel. Like, they just threw it in and just sat there. There was like 5 seconds before anyone got up. It was like, what just happened here? It was the most lax thing I've seen ever for a world championship fight. He was sitting there like this, and he just threw it over the ropes, and that was it. And you just thought to yourself, what am I watching for a second now? That was a bit nutty that was the response, and the engagement that his corner gave in that moment, the biggest moment of the fight, which is, you know, throwing in the towel. It was a very, very odd way of doing it, and I'm not sure I really loved it. I'm not sure I loved that. Also, Wilder's probably going to say he wants the rematch. I'm not sure if he should do the rematch. I mean, he has a valid point in one regard, in saying that the punch which actually probably got him early on was technically probably an illegal punch. So if he does want the rematch, he's going to get it very easily because it's in the clause anyway. But in terms of his future in boxing, if he does choose to go around the route of a rematch with Fury again, which is big money, let's not play, big money, he's just going to use that as a reason, not an excuse. I'm not going to say excuse, because it does seem like it was an illegal punch. And it seemed like it knocked Wilder's equilibrium off, and that affected the entire fight, obviously. So it's a reason. I'm not going to say it's an excuse, but Wilder was outboxed, outclassed, outmuscled even throughout the fight. And I'm not sure I want to see another fight in that same vein. If he changes it up, he changes trainers, just like Fury changed trainers, and ups himself, goes back to the ring, learns, acclimatizes, improves, then that's absolutely fine. But if he comes back and tries to do the same thing again, it's not going to happen, and it's just going to be an even worse performance than I think him getting to the 7th round. So yeah, odd one. Seeming how I want Tyson Fury to win because he's the guy, he's my guy. But watching the fight as it went on, I was like, Wilder looked like a hurt puppy, and Fury looked like a big dog. And they're both huge guys, by the way, as well. It's not like one of them is big or one of them is small. They're both 235, 40-pound lads. But as the fight went on and on, I was just seeing like something I didn't want to see, especially in a world championship fight, but in any fight. You know, I would have preferred it to be over in round 3 than to see what happened to Wilder, because I think he got really like demasculated in that fight. I think it's taken something out of him, honestly. I think he's going to rewatch that and be like, I was absolutely destroyed. And I don't think his reputation to himself is going to be the same as it was before. It's crazy. The fighting style of Fury in this fight was mad. I've not seen him like this in years. The way he was on the front foot. He took everything to Wilder, and he didn't let up at all. It seemed like he could have gone for another 12 rounds, the way Fury was at least. And I'd love to see what the hell they were doing in that camp, because he was a transformed person. Because he's been the Tyson Fury that we've seen him as for when he fought Otto something. I can't remember. Otto Wilder? I can't remember the name of the guy. When he fought that German guy, or Swiss guy. He's had that same style for a very long time, and it works for him. That's the reason I saw him years ago and was like, this is the guy. People chatting about Anthony Joshua, and yes, Anthony Joshua has a specific thing, but I think Joshua has got more rigid and more boxy and more boring of a fighter over the last 3-4 years, since he won the championship, really. Since he won it off Klitschko, he's got worse and worse as a boxer, I think. Whereas Fury has just got better and better in that specific style which he has. Like the loosey-goosey, flowy-woey, jumping about the place. He just has this very distinct style. And he completely did a 180 on that. Turned into a forward-thinking, attack-minded. He was attack-minded as opposed to reactionary. Because a lot of the time with Fury, his style is a bit reactionary prior to this fight. But seeing him go forward, go towards Wilder, it just didn't let Wilder cock his right hand. Because he wasn't given enough space to actually literally swing towards Fury. He didn't get enough of distance between the two of them. And Fury didn't allow him the distance to be able to hit him with a proper right. I think he did catch him in the first round or second round with a pretty good one to like the temple. Or maybe it was like the front of the head. It looked like a pretty good shot. Fury just stood up. I don't know if he was playing and it was a really hard shot, or if it was actually just a pillow punch. I don't know, but it seemed like it was a pretty good punch. But Fury just kept on going and going and going and was just relentless throughout the fight. So the right man won, the better man won. I don't want to see a rematch, as I said, unless Wilder comes back with different assets and different attributes to what he has currently, because we're just going to be in for another pounding, and no one really wants to see that. I really don't think so. Unless you're a sick fuck, in which case, I mean, this is all for you, but I think most boxing fans don't want to see a rematch under the same conditions, with Fury improving even more to another elite level, and Wilder just looking like I don't know, cold turkey. Not good. Not good. So yeah. Cool. Interesting fight. Interesting fight nonetheless. I think most people would have thought this would have been the result. But anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Tyson Fury himself, who else will come after you? WBC World Champ will come after you. You don't want that. You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. And I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been great. I'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. Yes, make a video every single day if you don't know. You know, over 650 days now. Actually, I think today is 650. I counted it up a couple of days ago and I was like, damn. Wow. That's a long time. It really is. But we're not stopping until we get to 10,000 subscribers. So subscribe. It would be great. It would help me out a lot. And if you want to just help someone out just a little bit, like just a touch, just an inch, just a centimeter, just a millimeter, then just tap subscribe. That'd be great. But I will be here again tomorrow. I will indeed, for some more quality shitty content, because that is just what we do. We produce the best, worst content online. So see you tomorrow, because I will indeed be here. Sleep, no sleep. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still here. See you tomorrow. I just grabbed for my hat, for the bill of the hat, and then I realized I'm wearing the hat backwards. I'm really out of it. See you tomorrow, though. As I said, I'll be here. Skadoosh.